Did you know that breaking certain mobile home park rules could get you fined or even evicted? So many mobile homeowners come to us shocked that they get hit with a rule violation that they did not even know existed. In this video, I'm breaking down the most common mobile home park rules, how they impact you, and what you can do if you disagree with a rule. So let's dive in. My name's Franco with Franco Mobile Homes, and we've sold hundreds of mobile homes in California, most specifically in Santa Clara County and Silicon Valley. So if you live in a mobile home park, you know it's not just like living in a traditional house. Parks have rules, and some parks are stricter than others. But what exactly are these rules? Who enforces these rules? And what rights do you have as a homeowner? Step number one is understanding park rules and who makes them. So first, let's get one thing straight. Who actually creates these park rules? First, it's the park owners and park management. They control most of the rules, from quiet hours to maintenance requirements to landscaping requirements. A lot of this is normally explained during the lease signing when you first get into the park. The next is city and county laws. Local governments may enforce rent controls or safety regulations around mobile homes in your area. The third is the state housing laws. Specifically in California, it's HCD, which is the Housing and Community Development Department. They state legal requirements for all mobile home parks in the whole state of California, and every state has their own governing entity. One pro tip is you can always ask for a copy of the park rules in writing before you choose to move in. Also, if you're already a resident, you have a legal right to request a copy as well. Step two, the most common park rules. Every park has different rules, but here are the most common ones that you need to watch out for. Parking restrictions. Some parks limit how many cars you can either have in the guest parking or sometimes even in your carport. Second is pet policy. Many parks allow pets, but they might have restrictions on the size, the weight, the breed, and they might also have rules when it comes to walking your pets in the park. So it's important that you know what those are. Next is home maintenance requirements. You may be required to keep your yard clean, remove any clutter, or maintain the exterior of your mobile home. So it's important to understand what that's like before moving into a community. Next is quiet hours and noise restrictions. Loud music or late night parties, you could get fined for that. So it's important to understand what is the park's expectation for that, so that way you know how to follow the rule. Next up is rent and fee regulations. Late rent payments can lead to penalties, and some parks charge an extra fine for utilities and storage for being late on your payment. So make sure to understand what those late fees are and the expectations after that. If you continuously become late, you could get in trouble and could be on track for an eviction. Next is the rules around selling your mobile home. Many parks require that new buyers have to be approved before they can move in. Many parks require that you have to fix a huge amount of things before you can start to sell your home, or they need to be fixed before the home can be sold. But it's important to understand what those sets of rules are around your particular mobile home in that particular mobile home park. One tip is asking a local agent that's a real estate expert what those rules are in that community, and you can tend to get tips from them. You can always reach out to us too if there's any questions around that. Step three, what happens if you break a rule? So what if you accidentally break a park rule? Here's what to expect. Number one is a first warning. Most parks will give you a verbal or a written notice. Sometimes they'll slap a paper on your wall or mail you a letter as a written warning. Number two is an official violation letter. If the issue continues, you'll receive a formal notice with a deadline to fix whatever the problem is. Number three is fines and legal action. If you ignore the notice and you don't take any action, you could be fined, or in an extreme case, you could face an eviction. Serious violations like failing to pay rent or causing safety hazards can lead to immediate eviction proceedings. So it's important to know what these rules are, and sometimes if you need advice on how to navigate these, you can always reach out to us for advice too. Before we get to the last step, I want to let you guys know our team works really hard on making these videos, and we want to keep making them. So it would mean a lot if you hit subscribe, like, comment. Step 4 is a very common question that we get a lot: can you challenge a park rule? So this is a very sticky situation. Nobody wants to be at odds with their park ownership and park management, but sometimes not all park rules are fair, and sometimes parks are not following right guidelines or creating rules that might not always be valid. Here's how to challenge an unfair or unclear rule. First is check your lease agreement. If the rule isn't in your signed lease, it might not be enforceable. The next is look at the state and local laws. Some rules cannot override California housing laws. Next is talking to a resident association. There's so many different mobile home resident associations that you can reach out to and seek advice around this. Next is contacting HCD. If a rule seems very off, you can always get advice or seek guidance from them as well. Another solution is talking to a mobile home expert, finding out if they think this is legal or not, if they have a lawyer that they might be able to connect you with, if they've dealt with this issue before. For example, our team deals with this a lot, and we are very familiar with what's right, what's wrong, and we can often give some quick answers on what's the right next step to take. That's all, and thanks for watching, guys. We look to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching Franco Mobile Home. Take care.